Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Izzuddin bin Ibrahim, metric number Y916069. So in this video, I will present about my design of Art and Craft Center that was proposed specifically for the Chris production. Okay, let's start the presentation with the summary of the proposed site and the client for this project. Okay, so my site is Site A that was located near Mahalah Bilal IIUM Gombak Selangor. So this is the key plan and the location plan showing the location of the proposed site. And for the client name is Muhammad Izrin Izwan bin Kamaluddin, who works as an artisan who is specialized in making traditional Malay weapons such as keris, kerambit and also golok. He is currently working under the company named Chris Empire that was based at Kampung Kota Lama, Kuala Kangsar, Perak. So some of the syntheses that were obtained from the client are: he wants 2 convenient and separate workshop, which are timber workshop and metal workshop, for producing the keris. He also wants 6 workers that can work at the workshop at one time. He also interested in Malay traditional element in the building and application of passive design such as natural ventilation and lighting, especially in the workshop areas. He also loves to have modern technology to increase the productivity, but he still loves to have the traditional tools as he used to the traditional way. Okay, next we move to the schedule of accommodation that was concluded from the brief precedent study, case study and also the client synthesis. Generally, the space were divided into 3 parts, which are public, semi and private. In public space, the area included are the lobby, exhibition hall, souvenir shop, cafe, toilet and musalla. Meanwhile, the semi-public space includes the seminar room, metal workshop and timber workshop. The semi-public is open to the public visitors, but they need some kind of permission to access the space. And the last one is the private space that can only be used by the staff. Private space includes admin office and lounge, workshop office, kitchen, service area, mechanical and electrical, loading area and also the storage. Then we go to the concept of my building. As we know, keris is one of the famous traditional Malay weapon for its sharpness and deadly strike. So as a way to represent and symbolize the sharpness and power of keris, the concept of angularity is chosen to design the building. The angularity is also derived and influenced by the context from the site. Generally, the building floor plan symbolizes and represents the action of pulling the keris from its sarung by translating and simplifying it into combination of geometrical and angular shapes. The design starts by making the view axis that connecting all views from the site, which are view of Mahalah Bilal at the west and view of the green and calm forest at the north, east and south of the site. The second stage is making the wind axis that mainly come from the north and the west of the site. The third stage is combining these 2 axes, which create an angular axis that function as the main grid line for designing and shaping the building. The public, semi and private space are positioned on the axis based on the privacy level. The public space is located near the entrance to the site. Meanwhile, semi and private space are located a bit far from the entrance to give sense of privacy. The fourth stage is making a simple rectangular shapes to represent these 3 main space. The public space are separated with the semi and private space. Next, I play with addition of shapes to indicate the entrance and maximizing the view and wind amount into the building. The sixth stage is adjusting the shape to follow the angular grid lines in order to maximize the wind amount into the building, especially at the north part, and also to maximize the view from inside the building directly towards the greeneries outside the building. And at final stage, I add a connection between public with semi and private space by adding a corridor in between them. Finally, an angular shape was obtained by following the angular side axis, and we can see that the plane assimilate and symbolize the shape of keris being pulled from the sarong. After getting an overall shape, then I start to organize the space within it. So this is the bubble diagram for the ground floor. The blue circle indicates the public space, yellow is for the semi-public space and red is for the private space. The public space on the ground floor consists of lobby, main exhibition area, special exhibition, souvenir shop, cafe and toilet. that are arranged close to each other. Meanwhile, the semi-private space are the timber workshop and metal workshop that are located at the north part of the site. This is to utilize and maximize the wind amount that mainly come from the north as well as the west of the site. Another reason of the workshop are separated and located a bit far from the public space is to give sense of privacy to the workers as well as to minimize the loud noise from the workshop to be heard in a public space. And for the private space on the ground floor, it consists of exhibition storage, metal storage, timber storage, workshops, office, service room and the loading area outside the building. So this is the bubble diagram for the first floor. The public space available are entertainment area, open cafe, toilet, musalla and outdoor rooftop. The semi-public space is seminar room and the private space is service room. The central part is a void that was located on top of the main exhibition area on the ground floor. And for the second floor, all space are private space which are for the use of administration purpose and can be accessed only by the staff. This space include boss room, meeting room, office, staff lounge, outdoor rooftop, toilet and also service area. The wall is also located at the middle of the second floor. And this is the vertical zoning of the building. As we can see, above the exhibition area on the ground floor, there are voids up until the second floor in order to allow the natural lighting from the skylight to reach the exhibition area. There are also spaces that are stacked up from the ground floor until the second floor, which are the toilets and also the service room. So this is the site plan. As we can see, the site is generally flat and surrounded by trees from all four directions. The blue arrow indicates the vehicle movement into the proposed site. From the main entrance of the site, the visitor can go to the drop-off in front of the building and then go find the parking for their car. All the parking lots at the west of the site is provided for the public visitors. Meanwhile, the parking lot at the north are only for the staff use. The loading area is located at the northeast of the site, which are near to the workshops and kitchen areas. Then we go to the ground floor plan. At the ground floor, the visitor will enter the building from the main lobby. A reception desk is provided at the lobby to welcome the visitor. Then from the lobby, the visitor can enter the heart of the building, which is the main exhibition area. In the exhibition area, many kind of kris and other Malay traditional weapons are displayed and most of them are kept in glass box. Visitors also can go to the outdoor platform or special exhibition area at the lower part of the ground floor. The souvenir shop is also located near the entrance as to attract the visitors to buy the souvenirs either when they first come into the building or when they want to return to their home. The cafe at the right side of the building is mainly for the preparation area but still provided with a few dinner tables. The main cafe is on top of it, which is on the first floor. The workshops are located at the upper part of the ground floor and are connected with the public space through a corridor. At the workshop also, there is a private entrance that only can be used by the staff or workshop workers. The workshop office is located between both metal workshop and timber workshop to ease the workers to monitor both workshops as well as become a place for them to take a rest. The storage are also provided in both workshops. And for the loading area, it is located near the workshop and kitchen. The pathway were provided to ease the delivery of goods into this space. Next, we go to the first floor plan. So from the stairs, the visitor can go to the open cafe which facing toward the calm green forest at the west part of the building. The wall in the middle of the first floor allowing the visitors to have a look of the view and scenery of the main exhibition area at the bottom. At the left side of the first floor, there are a seminar room and entertainment area which both can be accessed through a cantilevered corridor. In the entertainment area, the visitors are able to experience and do some stuff related to kris making, such as doing carving on hulu kris and designing the pattern of kris blade. The rooftop at the lowest part of the first floor are for the visitors to have relaxation and seeing the view towards the outdoor sceneries. The musalla are also provided for the Muslim visitors to have a pray. Okay, next we move to the second floor, which is a private floor. Basically, this is the floor for the administration and for the office staff to do their works. This floor is provided with the boss room, meeting room, office, storage, lounge for the staff to have a rest, toilet and also service room. The rooftop right to the staff lounge allow the staff to experience indoor to outdoor relaxing moment. The void in the middle allow the staff to see the view of the ground floor exhibition area. So this is the west elevation of the building, which is the view facing toward the building entrance. The facade for the building is wood carving panel that use the pattern that can be found in creased blade patterns. The wood carving are applied at some parts of the wall and also at every ridge of the roof. Angular and sharp roof with big overhang are used to symbolize the sharpness of the crease in a modern way. Same goes to the east elevation of the building, south elevation, and also north elevation. Next is the section AA of the building. From this section, we can see the hierarchy of the building going up from the ground floor to the second floor. Also, we can see the location of the void that stack up above the exhibition area up to the skylight on the roof that allow the natural daylight come into the exhibition area. This section also show the position of cantilever corridor at the first floor and also the second floor. Next is section YY of the building, also showing the stack up void and also the rooftop open cafe on the first floor and the rooftop next to the staff lounge at the second floor. Then we go to the construction detail. This building use concrete post and beam construction system. The type of footing that being used is concrete pad footing. Here also we can see the use of root support column to support the large overhang of the roof. Here is the water plumbing diagram. Basically, this building use indirect water supply system to distribute the water to all fitting in the building, except for the sink at the kitchen and cafe at the ground floor that use direct water supply system due to the pressure factor. This is the sanitary diagram of the building. As we can see, the toilet are stacked up on each floor to ease the arrangement of piping into the manhole below the ground floor. And last but not least, this is the view inside the main exhibition area, and also the view at the open cafe at the first floor, and also the view at the metal workshop at the north part of the ground floor plan. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.